Today we will be learning about debit and credit cards. A debit card is a card that allows a buyer to make purchases while immediately removing money from a linked account. A purchase with a credit card allows a buyer to put off paying for a purchase, but buyer may have to pay interest on that purchase. And then interest is a charge for the use of a credit card or borrowed money if the balance is not paid off in a set amount of time. Here we're going to kind of differentiate between the two, and we're going to add the letters of the following statements to their correct locations in the Venn diagram. So we have payment is made in the future and payment is made immediately. So A is immediately removes money from a linked account. Is that going to pay in the future or is it immediately? Well, it said immediately, so we're going to put an A in this part. Payment is made immediately. Allows the buyer to make purchases. Well, payment is made in the future or payment is made immediately. Both of those allow the buyer to make a purchase. It allows the buyer to put off payment. That is, payment is made in the future. So we'll put a C there. Here's the differences between the two. Debit card features: the purchase amount is immediately removed from a linked account, such as your checking account. Debit cards also work in ATMs. Penalties are charged if the buyer spends more than the money in the account, and debit card allows the user to withdraw cash. Credit card features allow payments to be made in the future. Credit cards have an assigned spending limit and affect the user's credit rating. Interest may be changed on the borrowed amount if the amount is not fully repaid, and some credit cards allow the user to withdraw cash. So those are kind of quickly the differences between the two. So let's put this in real life situation. Determine the effects of using a debit card or credit card for the purchase. Anna needs to pay a fee to participate in a soccer league. The fee is $25. She has $122.50 in her checking account. So we're going to explain the advantage and disadvantage of both. So an advantage of paying a credit card or using her debit card is that she will not have to pay interest. So anytime you can avoid having to pay interest, the better. So if she pays from her debit card, she will not have to pay interest. Debit card disadvantage is that if she uses her debit card, the money immediately is taken out of her account. So the money will be immediately taken out of her account. And then, so those are the debit card advantages and disadvantages. Now the credit card advantage. Credit card advantage is that her account, it goes along with the disadvantage. We're going to take care of that and say her account is not immediately affected. So the money is not immediately taken out of her account if she uses her credit card. A disadvantage is that she will have to pay interest. So, like I said, anytime you can avoid interest, the better. This purchase is $25, and she has $122.50 in her account. So that would put her just right under $100 if she paid out of her account. So the best bet is probably to use the debit card and not have to pay interest on such a small purchase. Let's go to example 2. Example 2 says Ella needs to purchase a new refrigerator that costs $1,100. The store offers no interest if she uses the store credit card, and the balance is paid full within 6 months. She has $1,200 in her checking account. Compare the advantage and disadvantage of using either a debit or credit card. So advantage of using a debit card. Let's talk about that one. And debit card advantages, she will not have to pay interest. That's always a plus. If she uses her debit card, she will not have to pay interest. Debit card disadvantage. Well, let's think about this. If she has $1,200 in her account and the refrigerator costs $1,100, then that will only leave her with $100. So she will only have $100 in her checking account. You know, depending on her next payday, this might not be the best option if it will only leave her with $100 left. I mean, she's taking almost her entire amount of money away with this refrigerator. So a credit card advantage here is that she can defer her payments to the future. So what that means is that she can make the purchase now, and she can have a month until she has to pay her credit card. So she'll have already had the refrigerator in her house before she ever has to make a payment on it. To the future. And then also in here it says that she will have no interest until if it's paid off in 6 months. So no interest if paid off in time. And that's a big if. If you don't pay it off in time, you're going to have to pay all that interest on the $1,100. Then we have a credit card disadvantage. She will have to pay interest after 6 months. And so that went along with that if. She will pay interest after 6 months. So whatever reason that she can't pay it off in 6 months, she's going to have to pay that interest. Here we have number 3. Number 3 says Seth will purchase a video game that costs $49.99. He has $239 in his checking account. Compare the advantages and disadvantages of using a credit or debit card. Okay, so I want you to try this one on your own. Think about how much money he has in his account. Is it worth paying the interest or not? Which one would we rather use? Would we rather use our debit card in this situation or the credit card? So go ahead and figure out the debit card advantage and disadvantage. And on a couple of these, there might be none. There might not be a disadvantage or an advantage. So think about it carefully and what you would do if this was your money and you wanted to buy this video game. And we will check this in class tomorrow.